Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot. For today's pick a card reading, we have a sweet little predictory reading, something that will put a smile on your face, which, as you can tell by the title down below, the topic is what little bit of luck is coming your way. So we'll talk about an area of your life where maybe you've been hoping for some luck as the first section of the reading, and then in the second section of the reading, we'll touch on what actually is the little bit of luck coming your way. So without further ado, let us pick our piles. We're picking with flowers today. Over here on the left, we have for pile number 1's the Peony. And I'll read the subtitle and quote, "Prosperity and compassion. Prosperity depends more on wanting what you have than on having what you want." And that quote is by Unknown. For pile number 1's. For pile number 2's, we have the Yellow Rose, Enthusiasm and Friendship. A single rose can be my garden, a single friend my world, by Leo Buscaglia. And then for my pile number 3's over here on the right, we have the Gerbera Daisy, Purity, Cheerfulness, and Innocence. The quote is, "The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it," by Thich Nhat Hanh. So just to reiterate, pile number 1's Peony, pile number 2, Yellow Rose, pile number 3 is Gerbera Daisy. Feel free to meditate on these cards/flowers. See which one calls the most to you whenever you have decided which pile you would like read for you today. As always, of course, the timestamps are down in the description box and or the top pinned comment below. Click on the timestamp for your reading and I will see you in our discussion about what little bit of luck is coming your way. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 1's. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of what little bit of luck is coming your way. As you recall, the flower you used to pick your pile today was the Peony of Prosperity and Compassion. So we're going to set your Peony over here to the left next to the pine cone as always. We do like to do that with our deck leaders. And like I described in the intro, this reading will have 2 different sections, so I'm just going to split the cards now. We'll talk about these ones first in the section about the context, what area of your life we're talking about, and then these will be more about what actual little bit of luck is coming your way in this area. So we'll just put those down here with me. Then, as always, I like to draw the Lenormand and Tarot on screen. So Spirit, for my lovely pile number 1's, could you give me 3 Lenormand cards explaining the context of what area of their life or what issue, so to speak, is this little bit of luck going to address? More just the context, please. 3 cards, thank you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do the same with our tarot cards here, pile number 1's. Spirit, for my lovely pile number 1, same thing. Context, 5 cards from tarot, please. Thank you. What's going on? Where might they be looking for some luck? For their highest, best good. Thank you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think that one right there, my lovely pile 1's 5. Okay. So we've drawn our cards. Let's reveal. So first up with the Oracle cards, your Elle Qui. You received She Who Brings Light, Blanche, I believe is how you pronounce that. Light, Serenity, Beacon. Bringing light. Being a beacon. Peace, serenity. Okay. Set your Elle Qui up here. Then your Folklore Oracle for today, you received, okay, so we have a tree card. We have the maple. In this particular deck, the maple is representative of change, being able to weather through times of change. So perhaps most recently, pile number 1's, the area maybe you're looking for some luck in has to do with, there's been like a time of chaos or more tumultuousness in your life. You're wondering if you can weather through the change perhaps, but before I go too far into that, let's reveal your other cards. All right. Actually, I'm going to set this one over here to the right. Let's do that. Talk about your tarot in a second. And then let's reveal your Lenormand. You have, let's see, the Sun. We have the Heart. And we have the Stork. Okay, so reading Lenormand in a sentence as I like to do. Each card is almost like a word in a sentence. Something about bringing to light the change of the heart. Or bringing to light a heart that is changing. Bringing to light a heart that is being delivered. Interesting. We'll see what your tarot cards say too. Put these up here, your nice Lenormand cards. Bringing to light a heart delivered. Fascinating. Okay. And then your tarot cards for today, for the first section at least, are Strength Reversed. We have some, looks like, are those mountain lions? Looks like it. Perhaps a bobcat. I think it's a mountain lion, though, because bobcats usually have the more pointy ears. Cougar, sometimes they're also known as. Strength Reversed. Feeling a lack of willpower or strength in some areas, what that means. We also have the Four of Swords reversed. Okay, Four of Swords reversed is coming out of a time of inaction or coming out of a time of inactivity, becoming more active in some way. There we go. We're going to set those here. Then we have the Seven of Vessels, which is also known as Cups, more traditionally reversed. All right, so the Seven of Cups is often about the choices we make, having different dreams. Reversed, it's either warning of a certain dream not to follow or a certain wish not to follow. Sometimes it can also mean being wary of the choices we make, being careful with the choices we make. Number 4, we have Judgment with Grand Canyon. Judgment is all about moving on from one phase into another, specifically more spiritually. It's kind of like the Death card that way in tarot, if you're familiar. Moving up, moving to the next level. And last but not least, I'm actually going to set your maple a little bit higher here. We have so another major arcana reversed. We have Yellowstone National Park with the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Feeling like we've had a bad turn of luck. Hey, luck is coming up and you're reading about luck. Feeling like we've had a bad turn of luck is what reversed means with the Wheel of Fortune. So let me look over your cards here, pile number 1s, make sure I have the message correct before I speak upon it. But I think I'm already getting a glimpse of maybe what you're worried about or what context area of your life this luck is related to, so to speak. So let me take a drink and look. 1 second. Let's see. So pile number 1s, I am intuitively being told the area of your life where this luck is being, or it's like the context of what we'll reveal later as the little piece of luck coming your way, is I feel like recently in your life there's been, the best way to put it is there's something that's been confusing to you. There's something that's been a little bit murky. I say that because not only do you have Blanche here about being a light, being a beacon, bringing light, you also have the sun in your Lenormand reading, which can mean happiness, can mean joy, but also the sun, specifically in Lenormand, can mean bringing light to things, bringing clarity to things. It's kind of like the sun in tarot that way. Very similar. And so it's like you're in a period of murk, you're in a period of fog, you're like, I don't know what happened here, something kind of confused you recently. I feel like specifically it was a matter of the heart, because you also got the heart here in your Lenormand reading next to the stork, and the stork is, well, traditionally it can mean, we associate the stork with like pregnancy. I'm not predicting pregnancy or anything, but we associate it with pregnancy here as a symbolism of, delivering a baby, right? But specifically in Lenormand, it takes that meaning to the next level of something being delivered, something being changed, something coming your way in terms of the heart being next to it. So it's like you thought something was going to happen one way, and then the next, all of a sudden, there was a change of heart, and now you're wondering, okay, well, why did that change of heart happen? Especially with your maple tree here being the card of change and weathering through times of change. Remember, I mentioned before, I feel like there's been a tumultuousness in your life recently. You're wondering what caused that change. Specifically, if I had to pin it down, as I know this is a general reading, but everyone's going to be a little bit different. But if I had to pin it down, pile number 1s, I would say I feel like you're confused about a change in heart in someone else. It could be perhaps there was a romantic relationship where someone had a change of heart and you're kind of confused. Perhaps it was your own change of heart and you're kind of confused about, well, why am I feeling this way? I don't understand. I want some clarity, hence all the sun imagery here. I want the sun to come out and clear out these clouds and this fog, but it's just not coming, or at least so far it's felt like it's not coming. You've kind of lost, not hope in it necessarily, maybe you have, but you've lost what felt like a sure path before now feels like a foggy path of, okay, what step do I take next? What's going on here? Yes, so it could have been a romantic relationship. It could have been, if it wasn't necessarily at the relationship stage yet with somebody, maybe you thought someone was, into you, and then they drew back and you're like, well, what the heck happened? Like, I don't know what went wrong. What did I do wrong? Things like that. It could also have been maybe there was a change of heart related to a job. It could have been, for example, maybe you were interviewing for a job and it looked like you had it pretty much in the bag, like, oh, I'm going to get this promotion or I'm going to get this job. And all of a sudden there was a change of heart and you're like, well, what the heck? Like, I thought this is pretty much a certain thing. So if I were to summarize everything I'm seeing so far for you, pile number ones, it's a time of what seemed like a sure thing changed to a time of uncertainty. You went from solid ground to something a little more muddy and mucky, and you're like, well, wait a second. I thought this was going to be an easy route, right? That type of thing. And so you're sitting there waiting and you're like, okay, well, what's this? What happened? Why? I want to prevent this in the future, but I don't know what happened, or I want to know why it happened. I want to bring clarity to that change of the heart, or that heart delivered here. Specifically because you picked the peony with prosperity and compassion. I almost get a sense of a feeling of you wanting more compassion in this area. Maybe when that person had a change of heart, be it, related to a friendship, a relationship, a job, whatever it might be for you, pile number ones, you felt there was a lack of compassion in what they did. You felt like, okay, well, they didn't care as much about me. Like, I feel like I just got tossed behind and left here confused. And getting into your tarot cards, specifically pile number ones, we have strength reversed, which is kind of what it says on the tin, feeling a lack of strength in some area, feeling like I lack willpower or I lack the strength to change this thing. Four of swords reversed is like something coming, and I usually, when I pulled it out first, I see the four of swords as reversed as a card of something coming out of a time of rest into something more active. For you, it's almost like, I feel like it's like something coming to light, something that was kind of, it was something underhanded, or not underhanded, that's kind of a negative connotation. It was something kind of hidden underneath the surface, and then all of a sudden it comes to light, comes into that energy of activity. And so maybe what seemed like a good wish or a good dream or a good choice here with the Seven of Cups reversed, all of a sudden you're like, well, wait a minute, maybe this wasn't such a dreamy choice for me. Like, why did it go so wrong? And especially with Judgment upright here, it feels almost like the other person has left you behind, or this particular situation has kind of left you behind. And so you're just sitting there with your hands out like, well, what the heck happened? Like, and of course with the Wheel of Fortune here reversed, it's like, this is a time of bad luck. Like, well, I almost feel like it was so sudden and such a weird change. It was like whiplash, like this person left you very suddenly, or this particular job you were sure you were going to get or keep, or this promotion you were going to get, whatever the situation might be for you, pile number ones, you got complete whiplash from whatever changed. And so you're looking for luck in this area. You're looking for clarity. You're looking for, what's the best way to put it? You're looking for at least some semblance of clearing the fog of what happened and what's the path forward from here after this occurred. Okay. So let's get to your second section of the reading. We'll talk about more what the actual luck is. What's going to change in this situation, pile number ones. Let me get my ducks in a row here. We're going to clear the board. Or the desk, I should say. I always say the board. It's not really a board, but yeah, bringing light. Just a lot of confusion. Like, well, why did that happen? What happened here? I don't get it. Let's get our cards on the table. So these were the other oracle cards I talked about earlier that I put down here with me. We're going to shuffle the decks, of course. We want to make sure that everything is nice and shuffled. There we go. And then same thing with your tarot deck here, my lovely pile number ones. Yeah, very confused. Like, what the heck? What happened here? I don't understand. Why did this person leave? Why didn't I get this promotion or job I thought I had in the bag? Things like that, pile number one. So it's the feeling I'm getting intuitively. So, or it could even be the change of heart in another person. Maybe someone changed their mind on something and that you thought you were so certain they were going to go along with this certain mindset or this certain decision. And then all of a sudden that person just turned around and was like, well, wait a minute, I'm going to go in this direction. And you're like, well, what the heck? I thought, they were going to go this way instead of that way. So yeah, Spirit, for my lovely pile number ones, could you give me 3 cards explaining what's the little bit of luck coming their way in this area? 3 cards for Lenormand, thank you. What's the actual luck coming their way? Please and thank you. 3 cards. All right, for sure that one is, actually it's the back one standing out to me. 2 and 3. Then let's pick our tarot cards. Spirit, same thing for the tarot deck. What's a little bit of luck coming their way? 5 cards, please. Thank you. Okay, that one for sure. Right there was, oh. Okay, well that one was coming out. These ones just fell out. Look at me being all messy. We're going to shuffle that again after that first card came out. Whoopsie. We're going to try that again. Sorry, pile ones. There we go. Look at me dropping the deck on the desk here. Okay, 4 cards, please. Thank you, Spirit. There we go. Okay, 2, 3. I think that one right there. 4. Yes, so that's 5 total. Okay. All right, pile ones. Let's get a little bit more organized here instead of having cards flying everywhere. Let's reveal your oracles first. So first up we have the Sacred Destiny, happiness, lovely. We have the sun again as another piece of imagery that keeps coming up. A little bit of a synchronicity there between your cards. Happiness with the dolphins. So that's pretty good for a luck reading. It seems that things will change in this area towards more of a period of happiness, but of course we'll get some more context with the other cards. We're going to set happiness up here next to the foliage. Cute little dolphins, right? They're having a good time, right? Okay, and then the Sacred Rebels Oracle you received. Faith in the process. You know, I've been getting this a lot in readings lately. This card is all about having faith that things will work out. Things will work out just the way they're supposed to. And especially with happiness here, it seems it'll happen in a way that's in your favor. Having faith in the process. When all else fails, the only thing we have left is faith. We'll set her over here. And then let's take out your Lenormand. For Lenormand, you received the Bard, or the Rider. We have the Snake, the Shedding Snake specifically. And then third, we have the Stork again. Okay, so you saw me shuffle that, but the Stork came out again. If I were to read this in one sentence, let's see here. A message of transformation delivered. A message of a new beginning delivered, specifically because the snake here is shedding its skin. It's like becoming anew. It's a new beginning, transformation, right? A message of transformation or change delivered. So I would not, I'm going to pull your tarot cards out, but right now, at least with your Lenormand pile number ones, I would not bet on this person or this situation keeping the change of heart that they had. But we'll see. Before I say that for sure, let's flip over your tarot cards. We have the Queen of Swords, or Blades reversed. Internal, or asking for more internal mastery of the mind, of the way we say things. Error is the suit of communication and logic in the mind in tarot, and that's associated with the swords. We have next up so we have Judgment again, but this time reversed. So Judgment reversed is asking for more energy of shifting into a higher plane, so to speak. Shifting into a higher place, a better place. All right. I'm going to adjust these just a little bit here. Number 3. Wait a minute. Maybe I need to... Well, I'm so sorry, pile number ones. You are the messy pile. Well, you're not messy. I'm messy today. I need to draw another tarot card for you. I'll do that in a second. We have the Two of Stones, or the Two of Pentacles. That is all about balance. Balance, Two of Pentacles, balancing things, okay? And then we have the Magician reversed. The Magician is all about manifesting, as above, so below, bringing things forth. Reversed, it's the energy of needing more of that, manifesting more, that energy changing. So let me grab one more tarot card. I swear to God, I thought, because remember the first card fell out, pile number ones, and then I said, okay, well, you only need 4 more. Apparently, I only drew... Well, we'll try it again. Spirit, one more card, please. A lot of surprises with your reading. I don't know. I've never had this happen before in a reading pile number ones. All right, there we go. We'll flip this card over. So the Two of Swords reversed. Okay. Two of Swords typically is about making a choice, being stuck between choices, specifically reversed. It's that energy a little bit more, really being indecisive about something. Okay, so what little bit of luck is coming your way, my lovely pile number one? So I'm going to adjust in my chair. 1 second. Let me look over your cards. So yes, first up, pile number ones, there's really good tidings coming. Of course, this is a luck reading. I wanted this to be a positive reading, so. But you have really good signs here. You have not only happiness, we already talked about that, kind of what it says on the tin. There's happiness coming in this area. It's just that right now, there's a little bit of a need to wait and have faith in the process, hence your Sacred Rebels Oracle over here. Having faith in the process, even when things seem the most bleak. And I know it's really easy for me as a tarot reader to come here and be like, oh, everything will work out, it'll be just fine. Don't worry about it, pile number ones. And you might walk away from this video and be like, well, I don't know, we'll see, right? But at least based on the cards I'm receiving here, pile number ones, they're reassuring you that things will work out just fine. And specifically, I kind of hone in here on the Lenormand reading, like I said when we first pulled the cards out. A message of transformation or change delivered. Okay? There's something about that change of heart we talked about in the first section of your reading that's going to change. And whatever the change is, they're asking you just to have faith in the process until it gets to that point of the renewal or the change of the snake right here. And it's going to change back into happiness. So that could specifically be, perhaps, for example, let's say you were applying for jobs. And let's say there was one you were pretty sure you had it in the bag. You were like, oh, there's no way. I'm a perfect candidate. I have everything they need. I have the experience they want. I have the education they desire, that type of thing. And then all of a sudden, even in the interview, maybe they even said, oh, you look like a great candidate. Like, sometimes you get hints from the interviewers that they're pretty sure that you're the one they're going to pick. And then the change of heart happened where you're like, well, what the heck? Now they've hired somebody else. Like maybe they informed you, but we went with another candidate, sorry. And then now what this is saying, a little bit of luck coming your way, pile number ones. That's not going to be constant. There's another change coming. And intuitively, I almost feel like, at least with, let's go with the job example. It's almost like maybe the person they were going to hire, they got another job offer somewhere else and went with that, and then they'll come back to you and say, hey, wait a minute, actually, the person we were going to hire didn't work out. Would you like to take the position? That type of thing, that kind of change of heart is what I'm seeing here as your little bit of luck. It could be same thing with it, like perhaps it was a budding romantic relationship, and this person changes their mind and they're like, well, wait a minute, actually, pile number one, I think I'm more interested in them than I thought I was, that type of thing. So whatever it is, for you specifically, pile number ones, don't count on that recent change of heart staying. Count on it changing once again. Looking at your tarot cards here too, we have, let's see, Queen of Swords reversed, Judgment reversed, which you got upright earlier. Let's see, Balance, Manifestation, Indecision. Yeah, I think these are interesting tarot cards. 1 second. Make sure I get the message cohesive before I open my mouth. And take a drink while I'm at it. Apologies for the silence, pile number ones. Let's see, Balance. It's taking a second for it to click for me. I mean, you're already reassured that that is going to change, pile number ones. Things are going to get better here. Indecision. Lack of manifestation. Balance. Spiritual change. Yeah. If I were to summarize your tarot cards here, pile number ones, I almost feel like this is advice for you on the way as you wait for the change to reshift again, okay? That's how I would put that. they're telling you in the meantime, while you're having faith in the process, because this is the hardest part, you're waiting, you're like, well, what the heck happened? This change occurred, I didn't get the job, this relationship didn't work out, things like that. While you're waiting for that to occur, with these cards up here, the advice with tarot is to really not jump immediately into other things right now. Of course, like if it is like, let's say, a job related thing, yes, you want to keep looking for other jobs if you were rejected from another one. That's always the wise thing to do. But if you get a job offer from another position or another company, for example, don't immediately jump on it. Feel free to be a little bit indecisive. Of course, you don't want to lose the opportunity, but it might be, I'm almost seeing for those of you where this is like a job applicable thing, that the first one that you thought you've gotten rejected from is the one you actually would prefer. And if you immediately jump on the offer from the second company, you'll have already taken that particular job, even though you would have preferred the first one. So be a little bit hesitant to immediately jump into making decisions here, especially with the Magician reversed being holding back on manifestation, right? And the Two of Swords reversed being very indecisive or not deciding on something quite yet. Same thing with Judgment reversed is about holding back from a shift into new energy or to a new world, so to speak. Holding back before you jump into something new. And then, yes, the Two of Stones is all about balance. Yeah, balancing between two decisions. I almost feel like if this is a job-related thing, pile number ones. I said two because it's Two of Pentacles. Pile number ones, if this is a job, you're going to have to decide between two different jobs. I feel like there's two offers coming in, maybe. Same thing with a relationship, perhaps if, a certain relationship didn't work out. It's going to come to an impasse of you and that Two of Swords energy of having the choice between, okay, well, the other person has decided to come back to me, but there's also another person that came along that I'm kind of interested in. What do I do? So it's being at that crossroads, right? And so, yeah, especially with the Queen of Swords reversed here, that's the card of asking for more control over the way you say things, control over the way you think about things. Really consider all options before you jump in. You're guaranteed here, right here, things are going to change. You're going to be back on the path to happiness. The fog will clear. We see a lot of sun symbolism, right? The fog is going to clear, pile number ones. But I think you're going to have a new issue, a very lucky issue to have, so to speak, especially with a job. It's better. You're thinking you got rejected from one job and you're not going to get another offer somewhere else. And I feel like you're going to get two offers. And then your new problem is, oh crap, well, which one do I decide on? That's a good problem to have, right? So don't jump immediately into making a decision when you come to your next crossroads in this area. All right, pile number ones. What you thought was a really bad turn of luck is actually going to turn into a choice between two options, is how I would summarize your reading. So yeah, the little bit of luck is the fog is going to clear. You're going to gain more clarity on what's happening with this thing that had the change of heart first. I think the first thing that changed its heart, whether it be interviewers at a job, a relationship, is going to have another shift. But then I also feel like there's going to be a time of you're going to have to really weigh a decision here, especially with that Two of Swords reversed and the Two of Stones or Pentacles being like balance, right? Balancing between two different things. Have faith that things will work out and know that you're going to have a different problem, a good problem to have in the future, but a different problem of, okay, well, what do I decide now that, now I have two options instead of none. So that's kind of what I'm feeling for you, pile number ones. The luck is things will change back to the path of happiness, and you're going to have two options instead of zero when that time comes, it feels like to me. Just have faith in the process until then. So pile number ones, as always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Congrats on if this is a new job. Congrats on your new job or having the decision between choosing between two different companies. That's always good to have. Same thing with romantic relationships, if that applies to you. congrats on your new relationship, or at least the budding of a new one. At least to see where it goes. Things like that. Maybe even could be perhaps you're looking for a home and there's like 2 houses that come up that are just perfect for you, and so you got to decide between the 2 that fit right into your budget and what you're looking for. Things like that. 2 really good options to choose between. And just remember, don't immediately jump into one. Really weigh between the 2 good options. Okay? So yes, wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading, pile number 1s. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 2s. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of what little bit of luck is coming your way. As you recall, the flower you used to pick your pile was the yellow rose with enthusiasm and friendship. So we're going to set that over here next to the pine cone as always as your pile leader. And then this reading, like I said in the intro, will be in 2 different sections. Section 1 will talk about the context, what area of your life this little bit of luck is coming in, maybe what you've been worried about, or what area you kind of have been needing luck in. And then the second section will be the actual, what's the luck coming your way? What's the little blessing being delivered to you by the universe? So we'll split the cards right now as they are for the 2 different sections. We'll talk about these ones later. Set them down here with me for now. And then let's pull your Lenormand and Tarot on screen. So, Spirit, for my lovely pile number 2 is, could you give me 3 Lenormand cards explaining the context? What area of their life is this coming up in? What's the worry that's being balmed by this little bit of luck coming their way? There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then same thing with Tarot, Spirit, for my lovely pile 2s. Could you give me 5 tarot cards explaining what little bit of luck, or excuse me, what context or what area of their life this luck is coming in? 5 cards, please. Thank you. For their highest, best, good. Well, for sure that one's popping out. 2, 3, 4, and I think that one right there, 5. There we go. All right, excuse my chair noises as I scooch a bit closer. Let's reveal your cards. For your Elle Qui Oracle, we received Perpetua, She Who Aches, Sadness, Solitude, Silent, Withdraw. All right, would not be surprised if maybe you get the 5 of Cups with your tarot, but we'll talk about that in a second. This card is all about someone who's been withdrawn or a little bit more silent and quiet. Maybe a bit of sadness, aching. All right. And then your Folklore Oracle for today is the Hare. So the Hare in this particular deck is the card of vitality, meaning strength of health, strength of life, challenging your body and your mind, keeping it strong. Interesting. So we're going to put the Hare over here next to the other pine cone. It's about withdrawal in health and vitality. Let's look at your Lenormand cards. You received the Man, the Lily, and the Girl. So reading this in a sentence here for you, pile number 2s. Let's see. So the Lily can mean either sexuality. It can also mean elderliness, olderness. Peace, it can also mean, or olderness. It's kind of a poor word to use. Age, is probably a better word. Yes, peace is also another meaning of the lily. So putting these together, a masculine energy bringing peace to youth or to a girl. Interesting. So we'll see what else pops up here with tarot before I get too far in the weeds on that. Your first tarot card is the Page of Swords reversed, Page of Blades reversed, asking for more exploration of the mind, the way we think or say things, exploring something. Number 2, we have the Knight of Vessels, the Knight of Cups reversed. This is asking for either or it indicates perhaps a lack of exploring or taking action on the emotions, I should say. A lack of taking action on our emotions. We have the 9 of Cups. This is the wish fulfillment card, also known as the wish granted card. Sometimes it's the card of feeling secure in what we have. And then number 4, we have the 5 of Swords reversed. The aftermath of maybe a little bit of a verbal spat or a little bit of a fight. cleaning up after something bad happened. I mean, specifically here, it's people cleaning up a messy hiking trail, but reversed, it's like the after energy. And then last but not least, we have the Seven of Cups reversed, Seven of Vessels. This is about being wary of the choices we make towards dreams. It's about choosing between dreams. Interesting. So let me look over your cards here, pile number 2. So I'm going to take a drink while I glance over them and put together a cohesive message for you as we gather a little bit more about the context of what this reading is about. What I'm being told, pile number 2s, is I feel like there is someone in your life that you have been trying to help. It could be yourself specifically. It could also be someone else. Someone, be it yourself or someone else, has gone through a time of sadness, has gone through a time of lower energy. Could be even depression is for one example. Someone who maybe is even going through a time of lowered health, and then that could be mental health, that could be physical health, especially with the hair here, meaning kind of both mental and physical health. They've become withdrawn. They've become kind of sad. They're not really participating in life much, it feels like. Like I said, it could be you, could be someone else. And I think there was an attempt here to try to help this person. If I had to really pin it down, it's almost like, especially with your Lenormand, it's masculine energy bringing peace to someone younger or youthful. It could be someone younger in your life, or like I said, it could be yourself. And someone tried to help you, and maybe you rejected the help, or you tried to help them and they rejected your help to kind of bring them up to a place of better health or better happiness, that type of thing. They're not taking action on their emotions, or you aren't. They're not exploring what they think about certain things. They're not really seeking their dreams. There might have even a little bit of a verbal spat here with the Five of Swords reversed. Maybe a little bit of a fight with this friend or this family member, or you're even, if you're the person who has been more sad, maybe you kind of snipped at this other person for what they said to you, whether or not it was legitimate or not. Sometimes, we have fights with other people and we regret them afterwards. But either way, it's like there's a miscommunication here. There is someone trying to care for somebody else, and the message wasn't received right, or their intentions for it weren't the best, or they didn't communicate it in the most effective way. Whoever that is in your life, it could have been you were the one trying to help someone else, like I said, or someone was trying to help you. Something didn't work out, and there's a little bit of a worry here over, maybe the health of this particular relationship with this person, be it family member, friend, loved one, etc. Insert here. Could even be a coworker, could even be someone you try to help on the street, something like that. Whatever it is, or someone tried to help you, like I said. You're worried, I think, about the health of this relationship after this occurred, or they are. And you're wondering, should I keep pursuing with this person, helping them, or them helping me? Or they're wondering that too, and so you're worried about, okay, well, are they going to abandon me now that maybe I rejected that help, or vice versa? Okay. That's kind of what I'm feeling here with this particular pile. Let's see if there's any other messages here before I move on to the larger section of what the actual luck is that's coming. Yeah, I want to say for most of you, it's probably a friend, because you did have the yellow rose, which means friendship. But yeah, it could have been any relationship that is important to you, like I said. Yeah, vitality with the hair, challenging your mind and body. And even if it wasn't depression, or it wasn't necessarily like a health-related issue, mind or body, it could have been maybe you were encouraging someone, or they were encouraging you, hey, expand your mind a little bit more, maybe, go get education in this thing. They were trying to encourage you, or you were trying to encourage them. Or maybe, they were doing a physical activity and they were like, well, hey, come with me, let's be healthy together with this particular thing. And whatever it was, whoever said that, the other person rejected what they said and were like, nah. I think maybe even someone got a little bit of offended is kind of what I'm feeling here. Especially because you got the lily here too. And then you also have a figure that's older and a figure that's younger. I feel like there's an age difference here. It could have been perhaps if you're a parent, you tried to help your child with something, or, you know, if you're not a parent, it could have been someone younger in your family. It could have been a younger friend of yours, or it could be an older friend of yours, etc. Whatever it is, I feel like there's an age gap here in the two parties involved because, yes, you got two figures that are two different ages, but you also got the lily, which can mean like age, elderliness, or a sense of being older is another interpretation of that card. So yeah, some of you, I almost feel like it could have been someone invited someone to travel or go with them somewhere. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting off the 9 of Vessels here. But whatever the attempt was to make the other person happy, it did not go over very well. And so you're a bit worried about it, I think. Pile number 2 that's what I'm feeling from this particular reading. The intentions were good on whoever said what. It's just that maybe someone kind of had foot and mouth disease and it didn't go over so well. So you're a little bit worried. But yeah, so let's go on to the part of the reading that talks about what the luck is coming, because that's going to be a little bit more of the meaty part of the reading. This is more just the context of where we're coming from. So let's put these cards back as they were. Yeah. I think people, like I said, they have the best of intentions. It's just, or you did if you were the one speaking to the other person. It's just that didn't work out so well. Let's see, I'm going to shuffle these cards as well. Pardon for the silence or the pause between the sections. And then let's clear the board here of your other oracle cards. Yeah, you had the best intentions in mind, or they did, but didn't work out so well. But let's go to the more positive part of the reading. What's going to change? What's the luck coming your way in this area? Spirit, for my lovely pile number 2 is, could you explain the luck coming their way in this area with 3 Lenormand cards, please? Thank you, or at least one part of it. There we go. 1, 2, and that one back there for sure. 3. Same thing with tarot. 5 cards, please, explaining what's a little bit of luck coming their way in this area. 5. Thank you. For their best, highest good, what's the luck coming their way? 1, 2, excuse me, 3. That one, I'll just put them right here. 4, and that one right there, 5. Let's review your cards for this part of the reading. What's the actual luck coming your way? So first up, we have your Sacred Destiny. Going forward. Interesting. Moving past this time of trouble. Moving towards the future. Then your Sacred Rebels is Spirals of Manifestation. This particular card in this deck means sometimes the things that we want or want to create or manifest in a way that we don't expect, specifically because of the meaning of spirals. It's not so much manifesting things isn't always an A to B, A to Z type straight line. Sometimes things come back, sometimes things go in a zigzag. It can manifest in ways you don't expect. So that's interesting. We'll talk about that more in a second here. Let's reveal your Lenormand cards. A little bit of luck coming your way. We have the holly tree, the shedding snake. You know, pile number 1's got the shedding snake too, and the mice. Reading this as one sentence, let's see. So we do have another aspect of health here with the tree. We did the hair earlier, also talked about health. Sometimes the tree can mean, holly specifically being the winter tree, can mean stagnant health. Stagnant health, renewed, and lost. Because the mice are decay or the loss of something. That's interesting. Stagnant health renews the loss. Let's see what your tarot cards say before I conclusively give that message, though. All right, first up, tarot, we have the Knight of Stones, or Knight of Pentacles, reversed. Usually this card is about slow and steady wins the race, taking action in the material world with Careful planning. Reversed, it's a little bit more either asking to go about something a little bit more carefully, or it could mean, depending on the context, doing something a bit faster, but we'll see. We have the Devil, Carlsbad Caverns National Park. The Devil is all about the things that bind or chain us or hold us back. Number 3, we have the Sun, beautiful. The Sun, happiness with, oh, this is Acadia National Park. Happiness, bringing clarity, bringing light, joy. Lovely. Number 4, we have another major arcana. We have Niagara Falls State Park, the Lovers. Harmony in our relationships, making a choice sometimes is what the Lovers can mean. But usually what it says on the tin, harmony in a relationship. A lot of major arcana. We'll see what the 5th one is before I comment on that. Okay, so the 5th one isn't major arcana, but this is the Page of Blades reversed, asking for more energy in terms of exploring the way we think about things, the way we say things. Okay. So let me look over your cards here, pile number 2. So like, just for a fresh reminder, the context was there's an area of your life where someone said something to someone else, I think with an age gap between the two people. Could be like a parent-child relationship, student-teacher, things like that. Or a friend of just a higher or lower age than you. Didn't work out so well. So that's the context. You were trying to help them from a time of stagnancy or low health, or they were trying to help you and they communicated in a not so effective way. That's the context, remember, from the first section. So getting into your luck, though, what's going to change about this? For sure, I'm being reassured here for you, pile number 2s. You're going to get past this blockage in your relationship with this person, especially with going forward over here. We have a lot of, pile number 1's had this too. We have a lot of sun imagery. Specifically, you've got literally the sun here with tarot, but you also have the sun breaking through with going forward. That's where the path is going. What that tells me symbolically is going forth on the path to clarity or the path to happiness. That's what the sun represents in a lot of cartomancy. So for sure, you're going to get past this blockage in your relationship with this person. That's at least one piece of the context of what the luck is that's coming for you in this situation. You're going to break past the obstacle. It's going to change, especially here too. If you were worried about somebody else and their stagnancy or their lower mental health or physical health, I feel like that's going to change because you've got the shedding snake here. So whatever it was, if you were the person saying something to someone else, they're going to get better. Because we have the holly tree, the stagnant tree, shedding or transforming and letting go of the decay or the loss of something. All right. Stagnancy transforms the loss. Or the tree, the health transforms the loss. Sometimes that can mean that too. Also, the tree can indicate family. So I think, once again, that's another indicator. Maybe this was a family member. Yes. You're going to get past this. It's just not going to manifest exactly in the way that you expect, especially with spirals of manifestation, which I already explained earlier. Things don't manifest in the way we always expect. Something's going to come about in a roundabout way, but I think both people are going to see the light, hence all the sun imagery. They're going to see the light of what's going on. They're going to understand, oh, okay, that's where the other person was coming from. That's what happened. Okay, I get it now. They were just trying to look out for me, or I was just trying to look out for them, and they realized that. And then looking at your tarot cards here, you do have an abundance of major arcana, specifically the Devil, the Sun, and the Lovers. And I always say in tarot, my readings, everyone who views my channel before this, or has viewed my channel before this, is going to know what I'm going to say. But major arcana, being abundant in a reading, usually tells me that this is a major life lesson for the querent or you, specifically pile number 2s. And what I mean by that is it could be that this has been a repeating pattern or issue with this particular person, or it's been a repeating pattern in your life with people in general, where people miscommunicate to you, or perhaps you have an issue sometimes with the way you communicate to others coming across the best way, even if you have the best intentions. So I think what they're saying is that if you're kind of wondering, well, why did this happen? What the heck? I really wish this hadn't happened. It's part of a life lesson for you, pile number 2s. I know that's not so much about the luck of what's coming, but that at least gives you some reasoning, spiritually as to why this happened. There's some sort of major life lesson here with these 3 major arcana cards, especially right smack dab in the middle. They're telling you this is a life lesson. But getting into the actual meaning of the cards, though, like I said, it's going to change for the better. You're going to break past the obstacle. It's just not manifesting maybe exactly in the way you're looking at or expecting. But yes, your tarot cards. So let's see, the Knight of Stones or Pentacles reversed. And then the Devil, the Sun, the Lovers. Apologies for the silence. I just want to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. So I think what this is saying, pile number 2, is intuitively I'm being told, this isn't going to fix every single part of the issues with this particular relationship. There's still going to be a little bit of bumps here and there, and that's just every single relationship. So that's not, it's not doom and gloom like, oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be horrible forever. Like we said, you're already reassured things are going to be just fine. You're going to go forward. But they're asking if they were to give you just a little hint of advice. With the Knight of Stones reversed and the Page of Swords reversed here, the Knight of Stones is asking to go a little bit about things more slow and steady. Because the Knight of Pentacles or Stones so the Knights in Tarot take action. They're the ones that go forward and do things. That's kind of what that means with Knights. The Knight of Pentacles, however, is, in terms of speed, the slowest one. Not in a bad way, but what he does is, like I said, slow and steady wins the race. And it almost reminds me, and you did get the hare earlier, the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise technically won, but he went about it in a very slow way against the hare, who should have been faster and won the race first, but didn't because he was a little bit cocky, right? I think if I remember the story right. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but yeah, slow and steady wins the race. It's okay to slow down and take time to reflect on what happened and really process it before you get back to the other person, especially with the Page of Swords reversed here exploring communication. Before you return to this person and talk to them about what happened or about, let's get beyond this obstacle, take some time away from each other a little bit just to think about it. Think about how you're going to phrase it. Okay? Yes, things will work out just fine, but that's just one little piece of advice about going forward in the future, especially with the reversals here. Specifically, then, you have the major arcanas. The Devil is what binds us, what holds us back. The Sun is overcoming that. The Sun is happiness and joy overcoming. You also have two examples here. You have I don't know necessarily if they're couples. At least I think the Lovers probably is. But close relationships. You have positive signs here that there's going to be joy brought into a relationship here. And I think whatever it was the concern of the other person, either to you or what you were concerned about with them. They're going to break, or you're going to break the chains of whatever has been kind of holding you down, making you more withdrawn or making them more withdrawn or kind of sad. That's going to change, and you're going to have this relationship blossom again in a more happy way, perhaps back to the way it was, or even better than it was before, especially with the Lovers right next to the Sun. Those two next to each other is a very positive sign for a relationship, be it, with a child of yours, be it with, maybe just a younger person in your family that's not necessarily your child, a parent, whoever it was to you, even maybe it could literally be a lover. Whoever it was to you, things are going to get better. The chains are going to break with the Devil. It's just, don't be afraid to take some time and go a little bit about communicating and thinking about what you're going to say a little bit more slowly before you move forward and try to reach out again. But yes, things will work out just fine. And do expect here for the conclusion of breaking through this obstacle in a relationship to manifest in a way you're not expecting, with especially spirals of manifestation. Something's going to happen that you're not going to expect, and that's what's going to break through that rock on the path and go forward towards the light, especially with going forward. So your little bit of luck, to summarize pile number 2, is this relationship will blossom and flourish again. Things will be forgiven. Things will be just fine. The decay is going to be renewed. The holly tree is like the tree of stagnancy. It's going to refresh again like it does in the spring, and things are going to grow. It'll be just fine. Just be careful in the future about how quickly you say things, or if they are the one that did the transgression, verbal transgression, know that sometimes maybe they just speak a little bit too fast, and just know, okay, well, I know that about this person. Let's kind of work on that together with them maybe a little bit, and then come to an understanding that they're like that, but they're working through it. And, you know, perhaps all these major arcana means this is a life lesson in their life too. If they were the one that said something that kind of irked you a bit, you're teaching them the value of waiting before they speak, with the Knight of Stones or Pentacles reversed and the Page of Swords reversed, specifically being prominent in this reading. Okay. So yes, things will work out just fine. You'll break through the obstacle in the relationship. Things will blossom again. You'll find that friendship that you were looking for, that closer connection, or return to it even maybe better than it was before. Because honestly, the strength of a relationship is how well you hold on even through tough times. People that are fair weather and just dump you the second something goes wrong, not a very happy, good relationship that's going to last. A lasting relationship is based on forgiveness and understanding. Because as humans, we're all flawed. We all have foot and mouth disease at some points in our life, right? We all stick our foot in our mouth and are like, say dumb things. Very human thing. We all do it. But the true value of someone's character and the true character of a relationship is based on what they do when things do go wrong. Okay? So that's what Spirit wants to give to you as a heads up of what good luck is coming. The obstacle will break in this relationship. Things will be just fine with the Sun and the Lovers. So, as always, I hope that reading was helpful for you, my lovely pile number 2s. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in another reading at some point. Bye, pile number 2s. Hello there, my lovely pile number 3s. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of a little bit of luck coming your way. As you recall, your pile leader or flower today was the Gerbera daisy. Purity, cheerfulness, and innocence, with the quote, "The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it," by Thich Nhat Hanh. So as always, we're going to set your pile leader over here by the pine cone on the left. And as I explained in the intro real quick, 2 sections to this reading. Section number 1 is the context, what area of your life maybe you've been seeking luck in, what's going on. And then section number 2, a little bit of a meatier section, will be more about what the actual luck is. So we'll split the cards now, as always. We'll talk about these ones later. Set those down here with me. And let's draw your cards for the first section with Lenormand and Tarot. So Spirit, for my lovely pile number 3s, could you explain to me with 3 different cards, what's the context of this little bit of luck coming their way? What's the situation that they've been looking for luck in? Or need some luck in, I should say, maybe. Maybe they don't even know it yet. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Same thing with Tarot, Spirit, for my lovely pile 3s. 5 cards, please. What's the context? Where do they need this luck? For their highest, best good. Thank you. Definitely that one right there. 2, 3, 4, and let's see, 5 right there. Get our ducks in a row, make this all even and nice. Let's reveal your oracle cards first. So, Elle Qui received Taraz, she who is present, now awareness, acceptance. Being aware in the present moment. You know, that's funny, because literally your Gerbera daisy here, the quote from Thich Nhat Hanh, says, "The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you were attentive, you will see it." And then you, in your Elle Qui here, received a card about being in the present moment. Interesting. A little bit of a synchronicity there. We'll see how that plays out with what else pops out. Your Folklore Oracle for today is the Hazel Tree. Another tree, just like pile number 2s, I think. Or no, I'm sorry, pile number 1's had another tree. So the hazel in this particular card represents creativity and inspiration. Specifically, it's about not waiting for creativity or inspiration to hit you, but finding it in, you guessed it, the present moment. So you have a lot of synchronicities with this reading, pile number 3s. Also just beautiful. I love the contrast of that. Looks like mint green with the red here. Creativity and inspiration in the present moment. Finding greatness in the present moment. So your Lenormand card. So literally you got a shamrock or a 4-leaf clover. Luck. Literally that's what it means. Hey, perfect reading for it, right? Then you have the ship, and then you have the promise or the ring. So reading this in one sentence. Luck on the journey of a promise. Luck on the voyage of an agreement. Interesting. We'll see what else pops out with your tarot cards. Luck on the journey or voyage of an agreement or a promise. Then your tarot cards here are the 9 of Cups reversed. Feeling like we lack satisfaction in some area of our life. That's how I would summarize that card reversed. Number 2, we have the Moon reversed. All is not what it seems. An illusion being made real, or an illusion coming to light, and the real thing behind the illusion being made clear. That's what the Moon reversed means. Perfect for Creators of the Moon National Monument, right? We have a coyote and a wolf, it looks like. Or is that a fox? Apologies, it's a fox and a wolf. Then we have the 6 of Stones. 6 of Pentacles is about fairness, equal distribution. Number 4, we have the Page of Vessels, which is cups, exploring our emotions. Exploring water. Meaning emotions in tarot. Last but not least, we have the 5 of Swords. Kind of what it says on the tin. A little bit of a conflict here. We have people throwing trash everywhere. Well, they're cleaning it up specifically in this picture, but the traditional meaning of the, 5 of Swords in tarot is a mental conflict, a little bit of a verbal spat, because the blades are like, they're the element of air in tarot, and air is representative of the tongue or the mind, what we say, what we think. Battle of the minds, battle of the tongues, a little bit of a spat, a little bit of a fight. Doesn't literally mean that you specifically fought with someone, or it could, but let me look over your cards here and get the full picture of the context for you, pile number 3. So what happened? What's the context coming up to what the luck is going to be? Apologies for silence, and as I take a drink looking over your cards. So pile number 3 is intuitively what I see when I glimpse at your cards. We have that abundance of cards talking about the present moment. Not only did the quote from your Gerbera Daisy pile leader over here from Thich Nhat Hanh talk about being aware in the present moment and finding joy in it, your Elle Qui card here, Taraz, is she who is present, now awareness, acceptance, and your Hazel Tree talks about, yes, it's about creativity and inspiration, but specifically the context with that card is creativity and inspiration in the present moment and not just waiting for it. You know, for example, waiting for a good idea to come to you versus actually just taking action on what you have now instead of waiting for the best time to come. And interestingly, you have with your Lenormand here, luck. Well, if I were to summarize it in one sentence, like I said before, luck on the journey of a promise. I almost feel like, what's the best way to word this, pile number 3? You have been waiting, I think is the right word. I feel like you've been waiting for someone to make good on a promise, or you've been waiting for someone to take, note of something. You've been waiting for luck in a certain area regarding, I don't know if there's some creative project you've been waiting to hear back on from, because you did get the Hazel Tree, which is like the creativity and inspiration. And it's like you're very future focused about, okay, where is this thing going? You know, where is this journey taking me, especially with the ship here being the voyage of a promise next to the ring? Where is this taking me? Where are they at? You know, where are they at with that promise? Like I'm waiting on hearing back from them. It could be like maybe you're trying to get something published, you're trying to get your art noticed, something like that. There is some aspect of creativity or inspiration here. Something that you've been trying to create or trying to get attention for creating or notice or an agreement on. Could be like selling your art or selling a book, for example. Depends. As a generating, everyone's going to be a bit different. And this process of waiting, I feel like, has been, you've been dissatisfied, especially with that Nine of Cups reversed here. You've been dissatisfied because you're like, I thought this would be, you know, I had it in the bag. I thought this person would make good on their promise, or this particular thing had promise to it. Might not even be there's another person involved necessarily. And things are being revealed for what they are with the moon reversed. The shimmery sheen is kind of wearing off. And there's a feeling of, I feel in conflict with this situation or this other person with the Five of Swords. I feel like things are unfair to me with the Six of Pentacles. I feel like things are not being equally distributed. I feel like, you know, it could be maybe someone isn't paying enough attention to you or your creative work. It could be, I'm not sure how it works for art specifically, but I at least know in the publishing world, for those of you who are writers, you know, maybe you feel like your editor or your agent isn't paying enough attention to your specific work and too much to other writers or something like that. It's just like, I feel like there's not an equal distribution of attention on you, or at least that's kind of what you're worried about, pile number 3 is. So you're wondering, okay, so where the heck is this going? I want some luck in this area. I want someone to make good on their promise. But it's so future focused that it's plaguing your present with worries about, okay, where's the promise going? Will I get noticed? Will I get the attention or the thing that I'm seeking for my creativity or whatever it is specifically for you, pile number 3s? And maybe things weren't as good as I thought they were, especially with the moon reversed here. Things don't feel fair here with the Six of Pentacles. And you're like, I don't know if I should bring it up, especially with the Five of Swords here. Or maybe you already brought it up, didn't go over so well. They told you just to keep waiting or whatever, something like that. And so I think that's why there's this abundance of cards in your reading about being in the present moment. I think that's just a little bit of a piece of advice to you, pile number 3s, though I know this isn't technically an advice reading, but each pile has already gotten some advice. I think the Spirit just kind of always naturally passes that along when they can. And that piece of advice for you, pile number 3, is to really not worry about the future so much. Yes, that is a very human thing to do. We all worry about the future. We're constantly, I mean, a lot of us live in our present in the fear of the future. Unfortunately, that's just how humans work. You know, we think about, okay, where is this project going? You know, where is this job going? Where is this relationship going? Those type of questions. But what you're being told as a piece of advice is just to focus on what you can do right now, especially with your pile leader, especially with your Elle Qui here being present, especially with the hazel tree too. Striking now, thinking about what you can do in the moment rather than waiting on the promises or the attention of others in the future that might not necessarily come. I'm not saying they're not coming. I'm not saying it's not coming if it's not necessarily a person. But there is some aspect here of taking what you can do now and running with that rather than waiting on the promises or potentials of the future. But I can tell you've been waiting, hoping for luck in this area because you did get the clover. You're like, well, where the heck is this going with this promise? But things are starting to feel real unfair here. Things are starting to wear off the shimmery sheen. Not very satisfied. You're kind of like, okay, where the heck is this going? That's how I would summarize the context of what luck is coming your way, pile number 3s. And then, of course, in the second section of your reading, we'll talk about what's the actual luck coming in this area. So that's more of the predictory aspect. So let's move on to that. Yeah, I feel like it's either, it could be a project at work you're waiting for feedback on, or it could be, like I was saying, because of the abundance of creativity in your cards, you've been waiting for like a creative project to get back to you, or actually I'm going to leave your pile leader there, in terms of like an editor or an agent getting back to you, or it could be, I'm not sure how it works with art, I'm not very familiar with that world, but whatever the equivalent is of an agent or an editor in the art world. Yeah, or a project at work or something. You're like, I'm waiting for feedback. I'm waiting for someone to give me that promise or the thing that they promised me, but I just feel like it's just not coming, and I'm not sure. Is this a certain steady thing? I don't know. That type of thing. So let's move on to what the luck actually is, though. The more happy part of the reading. So, Spirit, for my lovely pile number 3s, could you give me 3 Lenormand cards explaining more about what's the luck coming their way in this area? What's going to change, or what's going to be for the better? 3 cards, please. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Same thing with tarot, please. 5 cards for the same purposes, for their highest, best good. What's the luck coming their way? 5 cards, please. What will change that emotional satisfaction, or lack of it, into something better with whatever this particular situation is for them? 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 right there. Interesting. Let's reveal your oracle cards first, pile 3s. Sacred Destiny received stillness. We have imagery of Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights, the Swan, and Frost. Interesting. Stillness. We'll see whatever else comes out. We'll give more context to that. Beautiful card, though. I know recently, at the time of recording this, there was, at least in North America where I live, there was an abundance of northern lights because of a magnetic storm from the sun hitting the magnetosphere of the Earth. But if you saw those, comment down below. Were they pretty? All right, Sacred Rebels. You received inspiration. Fantastic. Remember we were talking before about like waiting for inspiration, waiting for it to hit you? I'm pretty sure there's a creative aspect related to this particular situation, pile number 3s. Inspiration within the stillness. Your Lenormand for today, this part of the reading at least, is the snake. We have the ship again. You saw me shuffle it. We have the ship again, though, and then we have the flowers. Okay, lovely. Reading this all together in one sentence, I would say or interpret this as... Let's see. The fierce journey towards a gift. Because the flowers are like a gift. The ship is a voyage or a journey, like we said before. And the snake, yeah, can sometimes mean a strong woman. That is one interpretation of the snake. It can also mean fierceness, specifically with this variation of the card in my deck. A fierce journey to a gift. Oh, that's intense. And your tarot cards. Number 1, we have the King of Swords reversed. King of Swords is the external mastery of the mind, external mastery of the things we say. Asking for more of that energy being reversed. We have another king. Number 2, the King of Stones. Isn't this just a beautiful card? I just want to hold that up. That is freaking gorgeous. Okay. Anyway, sorry. So that's what the art of this deck. The King of Pentacles reversed is all about asking for mastery in the manifestation of the physical world, as Pentacles are earth. Number 3, we have the Ace of Swords reversed, feeling like we lack an idea or an inspiration in an area. Number 4, we have the Eight of Wands reversed. Things just feel so slow. Usually Eight of Wands is about speed reversed. It's feeling like, things are kind of slow. And last but not least, we have the Six of Pentacles again. Fairness. Equal distribution of the material world, specifically being stones, pentacles, right? So I'm going to take another drink here while I look over your cards, make sure I have the message in totality here before I open my mouth again. So pile number 3s. As you have been waiting for feedback or equal distribution of attention for this particular promise that you've been holding out for, waiting for, we talked earlier about being aware in your advice, being aware in the present moment, right? Doing what you can do right now and not waiting on those promises in the future. That's what the first part of your reading was about. This second section is about what's the actual luck coming your way. How is this going to change in your favor is another way to put that. And I feel like looking at your cards here, you are going to get the luck you're looking for because you do have the flowers here. Fierce journey to a gift. The flowers are a gift. And you do have inspiration here. Inspiration is kind of what it says on the tin. There's a lot about creativity in this reading. So like I said, I think for most of you, this is a creative project, or it's at least related to creativity, forming ideas, especially with the Ace of Swords reversed here in the middle. Whatever this blockage is, could even be a creative blockage. You're going to break through it. You are going to embark on a journey towards whatever the thing is that you've been seeking. Whether it be the attention of someone that you feel like is deserved, or the attention on your work that you feel is deserved. But there's some aspect here of, I feel like the best way to summarize it is you have the fierce snake and you have the stillness. This tells me, especially too with the Eight of Wands reversed here being the card of slowness, it might be a while, and I know you probably don't want to hear that in a reading about luck, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit before it gets to this point of the luck changing in your favor in the situation. It will. I'm being told that it will. It just might take a little bit more waiting with stillness. And a little bit more waiting with the Eight of Wands reversed. And especially the snake being fierce. It's something that's not necessarily, tomorrow you're going to get an answer back or you're going to get the thing that you're looking for. That's all I'm saying. It's coming though. You're getting the gift. The inspiration or the cherishing of your creativity or your project is coming. But the good news is I'm being told intuitively, there's a reason why you have to wait. And I know it sucks to hear being like, oh, you gotta wait. Just keep waiting because you're probably already going nuts waiting. It feels like waiting for the universe to get back to you on, that its reply to you, so to speak. You're being encouraged or forced to, I guess, wait in the situation because it's a really ripe, fertile time period for other things to manifest, especially in terms of creativity. I feel like if you are a creative person, and this is specifically a creative project you're working on, pile number 3 is, while you're waiting for that promise or that thing to come, dive deep into producing as much creativity or creative projects or work as you can. Okay? It looks like a pain in the butt on the surface of having to wait. I know. You're probably like, tapping your watch like, come on world, come on universe, get back to me. I'm waiting for this thing to go through. Really what it is though, is it's a gift, pile number 3 is. It's a gift of time for you to focus on other things right now while you do wait for luck to come through for you. It is coming. Be assured. It'll work out just fine. You get the thing that you're seeking. At least, or something equivalent. But really, really dive deep into this opportunity for taking time for, especially let's say as an example, if you're an artist, work your butt off and churning out as much art as you can right now, whenever, of course, your energy allows. If you're a writer, work your butt off as much as you can right now to churn out as much writing as you can. This is a really good time for you to focus on other projects while you're waiting for this particular thing to come to fruition. Does that make sense, pile number 3? That's what I'm being told. The journey isn't going to be an easy little, boat ride through a gentle stream. It'll take some time. Like with the snake being next to the ship, a fierce journey. Sometimes on the way to success, there's some storms we have to sail through. But on the other side of that storm is a gift. And the storm is a ripe opportunity for making great things, is what I'm being told for you, pile number 3s. So in this time of waiting, in this time of slowness and stillness, especially with the Eight of Wands reversed here, I feel like it's also an opportunity for you to be fair to your other ideas. I feel like there's an idea of yours, or maybe even more than one, that you haven't been paying enough attention to because you've been writing your hopes on the main one that you've been hoping for. Focus on equal distribution between your projects here, especially with the Six of Pentacles being equal distribution. Fairness. And that will bring you to a even better success in the future. I'm almost being told, especially if these are creative projects you're working on, pile number 3s, if you were to spend this time of stillness and waiting, not working on other projects, that would bring you less, or it would bring you less success potential in the future. Whereas if you do work on these other things right now, not putting all your eggs in one basket, that's a perfect way to summarize this reading, not putting all your eggs in one basket right now, you might find that these seeds you're planting, I mean, okay, intuitively, here's the symbolism I'm being told. It is better to plant multiple seeds and wait for multiple trees to grow and work on tending those other trees while one maybe is kind of doing its own thing over here, it's not quite growing yet, than planting just one seed and staring angrily at the one seed asking, why aren't you growing yet? That's kind of what I'm being showed intuitively. Like, mean mugging the one seed and being like, why aren't you growing yet? Rah. I mean, we do that as humans. I'm not, Spirit is not shaking a finger at you, pile number 3s, but it's better to plant multiple trees and create an orchard of different fruits to grow than putting all your eggs in one basket and focusing on one. That one tree will be, metaphorically speaking, that project, that one tree, it'll bear fruit. It's just that right now is a perfect time to focus while you're waiting for it to bear fruit, to grow other trees and see what fruits they bear. And then in the future, you'll have an even more ripe harvest of different kinds of fruits to reap, metaphorically speaking. That's the symbolism I'm being told for you, pile number 3. Okay. So focus more on what you can manifest out of your mind with the King of Swords reversed here. Focus more on what you can manifest in the physical world around you with the King of Pentacles here. Take advantage of this time of inspiration. Take advantage of this time of potential for creativity. And especially here, with the hazel tree you got earlier and the Ace of Swords reversed right now, intuitively, I feel like some of you are almost feeling like, well, I don't feel inspired right now because I'm feeling kind of down in the dumps about this one idea not working out. Sometimes the best way past a block, a mental or creative block in our life, is telling it screw you and walking right around it. Like, so I'm someone who writes myself. I've written my whole entire life. Sometimes the best way past writer's block, just for example, is writing anyways. Because sometimes that inner critic that says, oh, our ideas aren't good, or we don't have the right ideas, or we don't have any ideas at all that we think could bear fruit, can be the best ideas of all. So recognize the opportunity for working on other things right now. Give other ideas an opportunity to thrive. And the little bit of luck coming your way is not just the luck of eventually, after a time of maybe some stillness and waiting, I know it sucks, but that one thing you've been putting that one egg in this particular, or all your eggs in this particular basket, that will come to fruition. But by working on what you can control right now, multiple things will come to fruition and you'll be that much more successful in the future because you took advantage of this time. Does that make sense, pile number 3? So that's kind of what I'm being told for you. Be fair to all of your ideas. Give them all an opportunity to grow. And then instead of having one tree bearing apples in the future for you, You'll have multiple trees bearing oranges, lemons, apples, etc., metaphorically speaking, in terms of your creative ideas. Okay? So as always, pile number 3s, I hope that reading was helpful for you. Just have patience. I know it's hard. Just in the meantime, work on some other things. Spend time on some other ideas, okay? I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Be assured that that gift is coming. And I hope to see you in another reading in the future, okay? Bye, pile 3s.